useless. Hagrid was often around, but he was usually too focused on bizarre animals to fulfill the needs of Hogwarts. So Hagrid regularly fucks with Hogwarts? What the fuck? Okay, professors would pop in occasionally, but being a magic school, Hogwarts didn't need much upkeeping. The little he did need was taken care of by Filch. He shuddered, causing small trembles throughout his halls that was barely discernible, except by the spiders and owls. He didn't care much for Filch, wishing he could walk without his squid feet touching his magnificent stone floors.
Oh my
He had
god.
long since stopped trying to force his floors open to swallow Filch and Mrs. Norris whole. Besides, if he kept it up, he would be risking a prolapse staircase, and that was no laughing matter. The giant squid saw how miserable Hogwarts was. It was true that he also missed the students, but for an entirely different reason. He missed their terrified screams as he revealed himself, rising from the murky depths of the lake. His huge eyes stared mournfully at his very large tentacles. At one time, he had dreams of becoming an actor. The larger he grew, the fewer agents and scouts would come calling until they finally stopped altogether. What the actual fuck is this? There wasn't much in the market for a squid that could split a schoolgirl from stem to stem.
No.
Wow.
I'm done.
He stared at his tentacles as they moved gently in the current. Schoolgirls were out. A plan formed in his mind, and he swam to the surface, hesitating momentarily before pulling himself from the water. It ran off his rubbery skin in, oh my god, I don't know how to pronounce this, rivulets, as he made his way across the grounds. No humans were around to witness the incredible trek, and no human would believe his eyes had he been a witness. Hogwarts
Whoa.
watched the giant squid approach and felt apprehension well up in his kitchen. "What are you doing?" The words weren't spoken, but they were understood. "Just trust me," the giant squid replied, caressing Hogwarts' outer walls. "Are you not ready?" Hogwarts exclaimed, trying to push the giant squid away with his magic. "Hogwarts, you're lonely, I'm lonely, we don't have to be. Besides,
Bye.
you can't go around manipulating your staircases. You know about that? Everyone does it, sort of. That's beside the point. I've never..." The temperature within rose in embarrassment. "I'll go slow." What is this? "I'll go slow, I promise." He began to caress a window, teasing it open. Hogwarts sighed, the fight leaving him. He relaxed, allowing the
Oh my
tentacle
God.
inside, where it brushed against the inner walls before settling on the
Oh my
stone
god.
floor.
No, not like this.
Oh
Not
no.
like
Sin just like broke himself.
Oh my god. He fastened the suction cups to the floor, lifting the tentacle away so that it pulled on the floor without losing its grip.
Oh god.
Everything.
Oh my god. Oh no.
I'm still crying. Oh my god, you guys.
Another sigh swept through the halls of Hogwarts. "Oh, Merlin, that feels so good." His rapture turned to fright as he felt a tentacle. Wait, I lost. Tentacle work its way into a second window. "I don't. Trust me. It will feel good. Remember this?" He pulled the suction cups a little harder and Hogwarts grew out again. God, what's happening?
Oh no.
The giant squid complied, and as he did so, thrust his second tentacle in. Hogwarts shuddered, coming very close to ending the fun. The giant squid backed off, unwilling to finish so soon. He waited for Hogwarts to calm down before sending the second tentacle to search the room. He felt the need to fill Hogwarts as much as possible. He raised another tentacle, caressing his outer walls, running along windowsills and tracing individual bricks. So caught up in the bliss, Hogwarts didn't notice the giant squid slip in a third and fourth tentacle. This
Jesus
is
Christ.
incredible. Hogwarts breathed. This isn't even the best part. He held up his two longest tentacles. These can reach farther than a room. They can go into your hallways. I want them in me. Are you sure? They're quite large.
God is dead,
Wow.
and this fanfic has killed him. Oh my god. Can't fucking breathe.
Apprehension rolled through his kitchen again. While he was deciding, the giant squid forced another tentacle in.
Oh my
He had
god.
3 tentacles left to decide. What the fuck? What happens if I don't? In response, the giant squid slid a sixth into another window. 2, he said simply and with a hint of warning. Hogwarts could take them all. He knew he could. But what would the other wizarding schools think? Would Beauxbatons allow a giant squid to violate her? Certainly not. If Durmstrang ever found out, there would be no end of teasing. The giant squid grew impatient and slid a 7th tentacle into a window, followed immediately by an 8th. 2, 1. Time's up and you didn't decide. What? But that's not fair. It's a simple answer. Yes or no. Now I'll have to punish you. And with that, he struck Hogwarts square on the outer wall with a paddle-like tentacle.
No!
God.
Oh, a few paragraphs left.
No!
Hogwarts yelped and tried to squirm away, but the tentacles and his foundation held firm. The giant squid struck him with the other. Again and again, he spanked the naughty wizarding school until he sobbed for the giant squid to stop.
Naughty wizarding
And still
school,
he
Jesus.
spanked the naughty wizarding school.
Naughty
The
was
giant squid finally stopped, but Hogwarts didn't have time for a reprieve before the giant squid forced his extra long, spanking tentacles into 2 separate
God.
windows.
Wow.
They slid through the room and forced the doors open, the pain only adding to Hogwarts' pleasure. The tentacles were in the halls now, massaging the long stone tunnels. This was incredible, the giant squid thought. He really should have done this ages ago. Every tentacle was in a different window. No schoolgirl, no matter how many movies she made, could hold all tentacles at once.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god! Oh, he can't do this. Holy shit!
Oh my god.
Each one moved differently and with a different pace, driving Hogwarts crazy with the inability to match his speed. He felt that familiar feeling and doubled his
Speed.
efforts. Ink exploded all over Hogwarts, some finding its way into the windows.
Oh,
He unified
no.
his tentacles somewhat, completely focused on Hogwarts. He must be close. Then it happened. Water shot out of the faucets, toilets overflowed, and bread set in ovens to keep warm by thoughtful house
Oh
elves
my
exploded.
fucking god!
Hogwarts shook violently to his foundations, rousing Filch from bed and sending house
Nani the
elves and
fuck?
Mrs. Norris scrambling for cover. Even Hagrid heard the groan of stone and came running. They searched around the castle and through the castle, but found no signs of intruders. Most perplexing was the sticky ink on one side of the castle. Hagrid peered through the dark toward the lake, but was unable to see the ripples left in the wake of the giant squid. The giant squid slipped beneath the waves, wanting to grin even though his beak was incapable. He anticipated a very short summer before the professors and students returned, so he had better make the most of it. The end.
Yay.
The
Oh
actual
my
fucking
god.
That was terrifying.
That was interesting.
Holy
Why
shit.
did they think of this?
Next time I have 5 shards, I'm giving it to you.
Imagination.
Oh wait, Abu, you're a girl?
Yeah.
Cool.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi.